Hey everyone. Okay, so as you all know, I'm a bit of an activist. I always have been. Not your typical tree-hugging, granola-crunching activist. I think I made that pretty clear a few videos ago, that I am pro-industry, I'm pro-human, and I believe in what human beings can accomplish, what we have accomplished, and I support pipelines, oil, gas, and coal, and all the things that make our life possible, and everything in our lives is so interconnected with that. It's not even funny. Like this motorhome, the camera I'm talking to you on, our laptops, our cell phones, refrigeration, electricity, the clothes on our back, everything is because of industrialization. Most people would be dead by 40 or 45 if we didn't have all this stuff. And so when I see people protesting against it, especially here on the very left coast, we're not just geographically on the left, but we're also very left wing. I'm not, so maybe I'm an exception to the rule on the west coast, but there's a little event coming up in Vancouver this Saturday, put on by Ezra Levant. He's one of Canada's most controversial and definitely most awesome newscasters. And of course he works for the right of center news network in Canada called Sun News. So it's, if you're watching this from the States, it would be like Fox News, I guess, down there is a little more right than the rest. But Sun News is pretty much the only alternative source of information. All the other networks are pretty much in cahoots with each other, and they all report the same tired stories over and over and over. Oil is bad, people are bad, everything is bad, and da-da-da-da-da. So anyways, he's putting on an event this Saturday, and I volunteered my time, and I'm going to help out with it. I'm just about to drive down to Vancouver to a meeting with the other volunteers who are also helping out to support this. But just before I go, I thought I'd show you the video to promote it that he's put up. I couldn't grab the actual video off the net. The site's hard to get the video off of. I'll just play it off my phone for you, and then after that I'm going to drive into Vancouver and I'm going to chat to you while I'm driving. So stay tuned and check it out.
So here's my plan. Let's do a For Canada event like we've done in Nanaimo or Calgary. Let's do one right in Vancouver, right in the heart of the city. We've done a huge event on Vancouver Island. Well, let's do one in Vancouver itself, not just anywhere. How about right in the heart of the city, right near the port? It's Canada's biggest port, a source of tens of thousands of direct jobs in Vancouver, and of course, critical for hundreds of thousands of other Canadian jobs. I mean, everything we buy from Asia, everything we sell to Asia, lumber, fish, coal, and hopefully oil and gas too. Let's make it family style, like our Nanaimo event, bouncy castles, face painting for kids, a balloon stylist, hot dogs of course, a couple of short speeches about the importance of industry and jobs and exports, but nothing heavy duty politically. Just a fun family event for people who are sick of being told no all the time. No oil, no gas, no pipelines, no tankers, no fracking, no mining, no forestry, no aquaculture, no, no, no. Always no. No to jobs, but only no to Canadian jobs, you see. Those Saudi jobs are just fine by these foreign lobbyists. I'm inviting you to join me at noon on Saturday, October 18th. At Crab Park in downtown Vancouver for a family barbecue where we're going to say yes! Yes to responsible jobs. Yes to real Canadians doing something for Canada. Tons of kids stuff. We even have a few veggie dogs because it's Vancouver. A way for normal people to start saying yes and to take back that great city and province from the foreign professional protesters. If you support these ideas of responsible oil and gas development in Canada and mining and pipelines and ports and jobs, and if you're sick of being told no by the antis, I hope to see you there. Will you join our growing army of 30,000 Canadian activists? I can hardly wait to see you there.
So, as you can imagine, there will be a lot of protesters there too. I expect all the hippies to show up, the David Suzuki types, you know, all of those fuckers. Anyways, it'll be interesting. I'll have my camera there to try to record their silliness if possible, so I'm sure I'll have a video after that. Anyways, let's go for a drive right now, okay? This is put on by Sun News Network, which is Canada's right of center news network. Definitely the only right wing, I would say. I don't like to say I'm right wing, but I'm definitely more conservative than I am liberal in a lot of subjects. And one of them is oil and gas and industry and economy. And here in Vancouver, well, we're chock full of left-wing liberal hippies that protest and try to stop every project and pretty much anything that could possibly benefit us in this economy. There's always people out there protesting. I call them, like Ezra Levant calls them, professional protesters, because most of them don't understand that everything we depend on, everything we use in life, including their cell phones and laptops and clothes, is all because of industrialization and oil products and whatnot. And these people just so hypocritical, if you ask me. Anyways, YesVancouver.ca is basically a counter protest to the protesters. I've always considered myself to be a real activist, as in I campaign against those who are against things like oil and pipelines and industries. And Vancouver is a huge port city. One of the biggest port in Canada. I'm going to be at the registration table there, and Ezra Levant's going to be there. Other guests are going to be there, putting on just some short speeches on why the oil and gas industry is a good thing and we should be supporting it. Every single person that lives here on the West Coast should support it. And so we're just going to a little dinner tonight for the volunteers, or drinks and dinner, and just going to kind of meet everyone and have an itinerary. We're gonna go over what's going to happen at the barbecue, I guess. Just an orientation meeting. So here I am in beautiful downtown Vancouver. It's absolutely gorgeous all the time. I appreciate it. I know why it's here. This city would not exist if it was not for industrialization and all the things that oil has given us as a species. Most of these people protesting against progress, that's what I like to call it. They protest against progress. Most of them would be dead by 35 or 40 if it wasn't for modern industrialization and medicines and electricity and all those good things. So I am going to meet some other like-minded people tonight who are also volunteering for this barbecue on the weekend, and yeah, it's going to be a fun time. But I thought that a lot of you would like to see downtown at night as well. I don't drive through downtown much with my camera on. I keep forgetting to turn my camera on when I come through here. So you know, in Neil Young's famous words, keep rocking in a free world, like my theme song, and like I say so often, although Neil Young is one of those hypocrites, flies around in private jets and has big boats and runs big diesel tour buses for all his concerts, and yet he's out there always campaigning against anything to do with oil, anything to do with industrialization. And anyways, he really pisses me off sometimes. That's why I don't run him as my theme song anymore, guys. In case you're wondering why I replaced it with the female, Jodie Peterson, who's singing. First of all, I think she's got an awesome voice. Second of all, I don't want to support Neil Young. Fuck, man, he pisses me off. Fucking hippie. Anyways, a fucking rich hippie flies around on jets and tells you what you should do in your life. It just drives me insane. Oh, look at that parking. It's nice to have a Class B and be able to park at the meters, eh? A little more downtown Vancouver for you. All of this brought to you by industry. All these beautiful skyscrapers, all this beautiful technology, and this high quality of life. By the way, we have the highest quality of life than most other countries in the world. In fact, Vancouver was rated as not only the best place to live in the world many times, but we also have one of the longest life expectancies on the planet. You can thank industry, you can thank oil. for all of that. Not wind, not solar panel, useless, absolutely useless. That stuff is good for off the grid, it's good for a motorhome like this, it's good for out in a cabin, but it's not reliable. You cannot replace industry with solar panels or wind power, which by the way both require oil products to produce and maintain anyways. But that's a whole other subject for a whole nother video. We can go into the inefficiencies of solar and wind some other time. The future, my friends and foes, is gas, oil, coal, geothermal, and hydroelectric power, which is what we use here in BC. We use mostly hydropower. Those things can actually replace most power grids and provide cheap, affordable, and reliable sources of energy, of which neither wind or solar will ever be. Not without clear-cutting thousands of hectares of land to put up solar panels, which use raw, very rare minerals to produce and cause a lot of pollution, real pollution to create those solar panels. I don't know if you guys want to research that, but go look into the production of solar panels. It's not exactly good for the environment, but it all happens in China, so people here in North America don't pay attention to that. And windmills, Jesus Christ, those things take a lot of energy and a lot of oil to create, produce, and then they have to be replaced, and they kill birds, and they take up land. There's just so many negatives to those power sources. Whereas coal in North America these days is mostly clean. Birds can fly right through the steam of coal power plants, and they're just fine, you know. And that is steam coming out of coal plants. I'm so sick of media showing power plants as if they're emitting some sort of noxious pollution, when in fact it's mostly filtered and it's harmless steam that causes clouds that comes out of those things. It's just unbelievable what the green environmentalist agenda can put into people's minds and twist people's perceptions to make everyone think it's bad or it's pollution. And when in fact, as we all know, carbon dioxide is the opposite of pollution. It is not black soot, it's a plant food. Anyways, that's enough ranting for today. I'm going back over the Landscape Bridge here, gonna go over to North Vancouver, gonna set up camp, and gonna have a couple of beers, gonna go to sleep. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna put this video on YouTube, so that's probably when you'll be seeing it. Alright, keep on rocking in the free world, everyone, and rest in peace, Chris Farley. I can't forget that, I've been forgetting that lately. We love you, Chris Farley. And Neil Young and David Suzuki and Al Gore, you can all go fuck yourself. Good night.